Welcome back. Now, the crisis in the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, reached a crescendo last week when the National Working Committee finally removed Iyorchia Ayu as the national chairman of the party and installed Umar Damagum in his place in an acting capacity. Ayu stepped down from his position 24 hours after a Benue State High Court restrained him from parading himself as national chairman after being accused of anti-party activities by the executive of his ward in Benue State. In fact, the ward executive had earlier announced his suspension from the party. The ward executive claimed that Ayu's anti-party activities alongside his allies contributed to PDP's loss in his ward and local government area in the governorship election in that state. Ayu was also accused of not paying his annual dues as enshrined in the party's constitution. He's actually the third national chairman of the PDP in less than 3 years to be fired. Before now, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has been spearheading the campaign for Ayu's removal with the support of 4 other governors. They are popularly known as the G5. Now, let's discuss this issue further. Political affairs analyst Muyiwa Akintunde joins me to discuss what is, of course, turning out to be a high-wire drama. Mr. Akintunde, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let's does it surprise you at all that Ayu would be fired in the manner that he was?
Well, in politics, one shouldn't be surprised about anything that happens in politics. Every second, every minute, every hour, anything can happen in politics. I am not surprised because of what has been happening before now, and then what happened in the recently concluded election. In some other, situation, you would have expected even Ayu himself to resign, because you cannot say you are the national chairman of the political party, and then in the recent election, your party lost your ward, lost your local government, and lost your state. And what basis are you now in the party? I'm not even talking about the crisis that happened before the election that we just concluded. So I am not surprised that this has come to this level. And then the crisis that also happened with the board saying they are suspending him, national executive saying they are not, until they now appointed an acting chairman. So I'm not surprised just to say it.
But then, I mean, should a party chairman be fired just because they lost their ward, lost their local government, and even lost their state? And this is an election. It can go anyway.
Yes, I agree with you. I mean, but you also look at what happened before that election. If everybody, every member of the party is unable to deliver his or her word, unable to deliver other, things like the local government, then where would the party be? But I think that
but
fundamentally,
wouldn't that cause some kind of desperation? Isn't that a problem too when parties now begin to give a mandate to their officials to deliver their wards, deliver their local government, ensure that they win? Because when you do that, it basically means you're forcing your members to go to any length at all to win elections. Because of course you would expect that the opposition would not just sit down and fold its arms.
You are correct, but you see, I'm not talking about forcing the people to vote for a political party, but I'm talking about you being popular in such a way that you are able to, get your people, and these are your people anyway. I mean, if you are going to campaign outside the country as national chairman of the party, outside your state, you might be saying that it will be difficult to persuade them, but these are supposed to be your people. They're supposed to show solidarity with you. I am not saying you should force them, but you should be able to convince them to that.
And you don't think this was just a perfect excuse that the ward executive used, and that if you looked at this very closely, look, somehow there might be someone beating the drum for the ward executive behind the scene, and that, look, the ward executive just had to come up with an excuse anyway, because probably the powers that be in the party just wanted Ayu to leave.
Yeah, because you also know the circumstances that led to this. We're talking about what happened right from the convention of the PDP, the presidential primary of the PDP. The first instance, PDP made zoning very interesting in Nigeria. Right from 1999, when we started this our fourth republic, PDP decided to zone its national offices as well as elective positions like president, vice president, and all sorts. Suddenly, in 2022, last year, PDP decided that the presidential ticket will go to any part of the country. At that time, the PDP already had a national chairman from the north. And you will expect that naturally, and for the fact that we have the outgoing president coming from the north as well, you will expect that naturally the PDP will choose its candidate from the south. But because they were working from the answer back to the question, they decided to leave it open. And we all saw what happened in their convention bill last year in Abuja. And that immediately triggered off the crisis that the party is going through now, with Newsom Wike particularly leading the charge until he was joined by other almost aggrieved. You remember they were asking for Ayu to resign. That was actually their demand that Ayu should resign. Of course, coupled with the fact that they also did not handle the issue of the running mate to their presidential candidate very well. Some people say that Wike was promised that he would get the running mate. Wike said he didn't want the running mate, and then eventually they chose the power. But all of us, we all see, can all now see what happened during the election.
Okay, I get your point. Now that Ayu is gone, now that the chairman is gone, you think because at some point the impression that was created was that, look, the chairman was the problem of the party. Now that he's gone, you think peace would return to the party?
Well, you cannot say, but there are indications already that...
And the reason I ask this question is because we saw that the National Executive Committee of the party now had to reverse basically all the decisions now taken by the IU executive. For instance, lifting the suspension on some of the members, lifting that suspension on Anyim, that's a former Senate president now, the one on Ayo Fayoshe, and of course the decision that the IU executive took on the incumbent governor of Benue State.
No, you're correct. I mean, already there are signs that there may be some kind of way of ensuring that the problem that the party has been going through begins to reduce. If you have a situation where the members are asking that a lot of the members led by Wike are asking that the chairman should step aside because he wanted a chairman from the south, since they already decided to choose presidential candidate from the north. And then IU is still in court anyway, but IU is now removed. Immediately is removed. The National Executive Committee is already doing some fence mending. So it means that IU's removal is already yielding what you can consider some fruits for the party. And it all depends on how they manage this situation, because, like I said, IU is still in court, fighting against his removal.
But let me ask you this question now. IU is gone. The G5 governors had always given that as a precondition for peace. Now that IU is gone, do you expect the G5 governors to be fully reintegrated into the party now? And do you expect that the G5 governors going forward would begin to wield a lot of influence in the party? Because let's also not forget that there are still members, there are still high-profile members of the party who are completely against these G5 governors.
Yeah, that's the situation I was trying to paint, that G5 governors, some of them will say that they caused the defeat of PDP in the recently concluded election because they played what you consider anti-party. And so they can't come now and begin to say that they want to take control of the party. Of course, Wike is in a good position because he is an outgoing governor, but he's from a state that has the resources to fund the party, and he has indeed been funding the party for several years. So if you have someone like that saying that he wants to take control of the party, and then there are also people who in the party who feel that these are the people who caused us the defeat in the election that we just concluded. It's going to be an interesting scenario. But some people are already preaching for peace and saying that we've lost the election, yes, we've lost it, but we have to be a strong opposition. But what I see is that if PDP is unable to put itself together within a short period, we might have the rise of another set of opposition political party in the country.
Now, finally, what do you think the PDP would look like in the future, even in the immediate future? Look, the party has been out of power now for 8 years, and is going to be out of power for the next 4 years as well. That will be 12 years. It's I'm just wondering what you think the party would look like. I mean, staying out of power for 12 years.
It's going to be very difficult for the PDP, no doubt about that, because all of us know that if you don't control the federal government, if you don't control the central, in a country like ours, it's very difficult for you to sustain your party. But I'm also commending the party for having been able to stay, even if not strong, being able to stay out of power for 8 years, and we're now looking at least the next 12 years. So what I think of the next 4 years, we should make it 12 years. What I think that the party should do is to begin to they need to first look at themselves and see where they make mistakes, where they made mistakes, and also see whether there are like minds in other political parties that can come together and form a formidable force. Begin to prepare for the next election. Like I was telling some of my colleagues earlier in the day, the next election is here. You can say in the next 4 years, but it's here. You have to start preparing now. First, by being an opposition party in the region of the world, a party that is constructively in opposition. You know, they have a lot of members in the National Assembly, have a number of governors in some key places. I mean, in the Southwest, for instance, they have 2 governors, Oyo and for now, Osun, and they also have in a few other places. So I think that the party can really and truly play the opposition if they put their house together as quickly as possible.
And that's just hoping that we do not see so many people jump ship from the party now in the coming days and months. We just wait and see. Thank you very much, Muyiwa Akintunde, political affairs analyst, for joining us on the program and for giving us your insights into this interesting drama in the main opposition, People's Democratic Party. Well, that's it on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.